Hello everyone, this is Arafellan, back in Rain World one last time. I did say the last video would be the end for now, but there were a few things I wanted to check that came to mind afterwards. First of all, if I take this to the farm arrays, I'm curious, since it kind of started the game off as though the hunter came from somewhere when you selected hunter. Yeah, I'm curious if it shows anything new on the map. Well, there's the hunter in the shelter, but yeah, I started off hopping across here, and if we go to the right, left, okay, that doesn't look any different, but that does. Yeah, this spot, if you remember, and I think I'll try to put up a clip of when I went by there as survivor. This is where we were riding the deer creature down the cliff there, and then up in that like overhang spot that it's showing now that I'm pretty sure was not on the map then. There was one of those survivor or scavenger toll looking things, like the antlers and the pearls hanging off of it. Actually, are those deer skulls? Anyway, up there. I never went up there. I don't think you can go up there. But it's now showing as though the hunter came from up there someplace. So that seems to suggest the hunter arrived in this area from another area, perhaps? Someplace that doesn't actually exist in the game, but it kind of implies there's an entrance there. Okay, so there's that. The other thing I wanted to check... Oh no, first let's see. Yeah, it shows cycle 18 on Hunter. It started at cycle 19, so yeah. And again, if I'm going to attempt the Hunter scenario seriously, I think what I want to do is restart, make a beeline for the Sky Islands, and have that already mapped out with another slugcat. Yeah, I wanted to check Arena. We have Sandbox, and we have competitive, so we can have multiplayer things, both of these versions, so... Yeah, I'm not sure how you'd actually have another player join. You probably need to set up a separate set of controls for them, or maybe a network thing. But yeah, it's showing here we have the white slugcat, which is the survivor. We have the yellow slugcat as the monk. We have the red slugcat as the hunter. And there's also a dark blue one, which I guess is just player 4 because there only are the 3 slugcats in the base game. I know the DLC adds more of them. In fact, I think Downpour is also kind of nicknamed more slugcats. Yeah, we have all these arenas. Let's take Nest. And then you have these... no, this isn't how many appear. This is how many points you get for killing one, apparently. Points for food, points for surviving, points for hitting things. Let's say 1 for surviving, 1 for a spear hit, 5 for surviving, 2 for food. Nothing special for kills. No items except what you place in the ender. Standard item spawn. Varying level, free food, aggressive AI, or normal AI. Allow exit when you get to a certain score. Allow exit when rain is close by or 1 hours left. Allow exit always. Okay. You have rain timer. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 1.5, 2, 3, 10. No rain. Early rain when only 1 player left train approaches. That doesn't really apply because you only have the 1 player. So if I hit play... Okay. I seem to be controlling white guide with a kind of, yeah, what do they call it? Aiming reticle. Okay, so pressing the jump button is doing nothing. Grab button is opening that. Throw button is doing nothing. Map button's doing nothing. Okay, but if you hit grab, it opens this. So this apparently is how you add items. We have... Okay, how does this work? Let's maybe start... no? Select doesn't do it. Hmm. Okay, I'm not sure what the controls are for this mode. You can add creatures, random creatures, configurations. Okay, so this is obviously a rock spear. That'll be an exploding spear. That looks like one of the bombs. Those, I think, are the stinging beehives. Yeah, how do you actually add things? You got the... I think those attracted bats. These looks like the spore puffs. Firecrackers, fruits. Was that the air plant? I think that's the slime you can eat. Slugcat, various lizards, bats. I think those are the flying squid things, and there's two types of them. So that suggests there is a significant difference based on their color. Can I use... oh, you can use the mouse. I keep forgetting there actually is mouse controls because you play most of the game with gamepad. At least I did. Okay, and that clears everything. Yeah, let's just see if these are what I think they are. What happens if you added slugcat? Okay, that's... yeah, I think that plant attracts them. Let's put in one of each of these. Those will be the popping snails. This... I think these are the things that grab you in the water. That, I'm pretty sure, is one of the fake poles. That's a scavenger. Not sure what that is. Let's put it there. These, I think, are the small and large centipedes. Some kind of spider. These, I think, were the things that dropped from the ceiling. Maybe not. Because I think that's what these are. And this, I think, one of those Eldritch Abominations. So, if you hit play... okay, here's our slugcat. Yeah, that's definitely an Eldritch Abomination. We got the flying squid things. Yep, we got the bubbly plant. We've got the slime mold. I don't seem to actually have a food thing. Okay, but in the bottom right, I think that's my score, and that's going up 2 every time I eat something. Yeah, the bats do seem to be hovering around that, yeah, that weird plant. And yeah, that's the beehive. Okay, that thing's scurrying around. Must have one of the spider-like creatures. I don't like them. Yeah. They're a little too good at killing you. Okay, so apparently this is what sandbox mode is. You just put stuff in and you can do multiplayer. You can do competitive arena, which is not this mode. And this is competitive in a certain way, but I get the impression the other mode is you're actually trying to kill each other, whereas this is... you're just trying to get food and points in any way possible. So food is one of them, surviving is one of them. Yeah, centipedes are electrocuting things because they do that. I can hear fighting going on. I think most of it's happening down in the corner of the Eldritch Abomination. I think I killed that thing. And they're, as far as I can tell, not edible. Yeah, you can spear the bats. Yep, and you have all the different levels you can do, so... yeah, this kind of feels like it's basically the Super Smash Brothers of Rain World. We got different ambient music now. Bats going to the ceiling. Yeah, I've seen them do that in actual gameplay. Sometimes also clinging to each other on the ceiling. And yeah, it seems like in this mode your slugcat has infinite stomach. Yeah, this is something I've managed to figure out during gameplay. I don't know how useful it actually is. It does look like it gives you a better jump, where if you're running in one direction and then quickly press the other direction and jump, you do a backflip. But yeah, it seems to give you a little extra height and distance, so it's probably good for dodging things. It sounds like rain. Yeah, things are getting darker. Rain is falling, so yeah, get to shelter. And there's your points, there's how long you survived. That's what you killed. Okay. This is pretty neat. It could definitely be a fun multiplayer kind of thing. Kind of fun just doing it to experiment with stuff too. So if you want to see how the creatures behave or what some of the items do, as long as you've actually unlocked them, which is what finding those things in the campaign mode does. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. And yeah, this time for real. This will be the end of Rain World, at least for now. Again, I might come back to it later on, but yeah. Yeah, this has been Arafallon playing Rain World, and I think I've decided what to do next. We'll see. Find out next time.